Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to change your spoiler out for our new LED spoiler for the 15 and up F150. Here is our LED tailgate spoiler. As you can see, it's very close to that of the OEM one, except for we enlarged it here along the edge to accept the LED pods. These have all the same functions as the taillights, and if you flip it over, you can see we have all the same mounting positions all the way through from end to end. We also break the harness into two. That way you can slide it through the tailgate easier, because this portion right here won't slide through most tops of the tailgates. This wire right here is for positive on the reverse wire. Let's get started. The tools that we'll need for this is a drill, some electrical tape, an extension with a T25 Torx tip, a small blade screwdriver, a 3/8 ratchet, a 3/8 5/16 socket, a set of needle nose pliers, and a set of crimpers. Okay, now we're ready to remove the tailgate cap. And to do that, all we'll have to do is lower our tailgate. There's a back panel right here with 10 T25 Torx screws. We're going to use our drill with the bit. Just set these off to the side, as you'll need them for reinstallation. Once all your screws are out, go ahead and just pull up on your panel and set it off to the back side right here. Now, once you have this panel off, you'll want to use your small flathead, and you have 4 tabs right here that you need to remove all the way down. You'll take your screwdriver and just push down on the center until it pops. And then you take the flat portion and you just want to get underneath it and pop it out. You're going to be careful so you don't break them. You still want them to be able to lock into place. All these tabs, they're locators, and they lock in all along here, along the top of the tailgate. It'll be very hard to show you in the video as it's inside this cavity. So what you'll do is, if you can't pinch them together with your fingers, you'll use your pliers to pinch them together and gently pull out. So let's start removing this. So if you want to try and save your stock tailgate cap, you have to be gentle with these because they will break. They are just plastic. Okay, we got the stock one off. We didn't really break anything, but if you look at these tabs, if you pull on them too hard, they will snap off, and if you need to put your stock cap on for any reason, it won't mount back properly if these are broken. Okay, so the reason why the harness is broken into 2 pieces is because this 4 flat end won't go in through here. As you can see, this is too big for this hole, and you need to go in through the edges. That way when it locks down, you're not gonna pinch any wiring. Okay, so for the reason for the 2-part harness is, 1, to make this side of the cap easier to install, and 2, so you can actually route the wiring without having to fumble with the cap and the wiring all at once. So if you reach down through the center of the tailgate on the back side, there's a big oval cutout. That's where, if you have a camera or trailer wiring, it goes right through there. So what you do is you take this part of your wiring and you run it up through the center section. Now you'll need to use like a wire from this side, and you can come out the top to be able to grab on all this so you can actually pull it through, or you'll just be sitting here for hours. We've actually already done this. So as you can see, this comes up through the top. This is our white wire that we have ran out to the taillights for the power, so you get reverse function. And so now we can install the top part of the cap, connect it, and go from there. Okay, so with your tailgate cap, you want to kind of line up where it goes. Grab your wiring, put it in through here. You want to run this just outside this cavity right here, just until we're ready to route the wiring inside. So next, what you'll do is line up your top tabs up here and your push tabs in the tailgate so you hear them snap. You just go down and push all the way down. And you can adjust this side to side if you need to. Okay, next, what you'll do once this is on is where we pulled out these pins earlier, these push in. If you push this up, it'll sit flush and lock those tabs down. So what you do is you just push it back in the hole, and then from the other side with your finger, just push up until it's flush. We are ready to run our wiring. Remember, we ran this harness out. This is the one coming off the spoiler cap. Again, the white wire is going to get routed down and out through this channel and over to the positive wire on your reverse light. Best way to route these is going to be, you have your handle assembly here for your locks and camera and other components, and then you have this brace that comes up over to here. There's an open channel inside here, fairly large, and all you do is just route these underneath up through the top of this channel to drop down on this side to go through the channel down here to pull them out and connect to the vehicle. You want to make sure you don't wrap anything around this bar here, because that's what releases the locks so you could drop your tailgate. That's why this is the safest route. As far as this goes, again, you don't want to route anything over the top of this bar, so make sure everything's underneath it. Then our wiring is color coded. Now, you know, black to black, just like that. They just push right together. Then you have blue to blue. Now, in some cases, if you just hook up the green and the yellow as far as just color coded, yellow to yellow, green to green, your turn signals will actually be off on this. So I know for a fact on this vehicle, these two get swapped. So it'll be green to yellow. So green on the cap side to yellow on the vehicle connection side. And then same thing, yellow to green. Again, yellow on the cap side to green on the vehicle side. So these, now, I already have our white wire ran, and I'll show you where we hook those up. Cut off the excess. Whoop. I'm going to just strip a small portion of it back. Always twist your wires. I like to fold them over, just like that. Go ahead and slide it in right there. And we'll crimp this down. Now, as you can see here, I have some electrical tape covering this side. I'm going to go ahead and do the same to this side, and then we'll button this up. Okay, so we have a lot of excess wires. Usually what I like to do is I just like to kind of bundle them like this. You want to leave a little bit of slack and just run one more piece of tape right around those. It's not going to hurt anything. It's just going to keep them bunched together and out of the way of everything else. Lay this off to the side and make sure nothing is hitting anything. Now we can put our top panel back on and wire the reverse light. Once we have all this done, what we can do is we can remove the tail light so we can access the reverse wire. There's a power and ground, and we need to hook into the power. So with your 5/16 socket, just go ahead and remove your tail lights. I've already done this step too, obviously. So we'll just show you where the wire is hooked up. In here, I believe I ran a red wire. So that way it's a little bit easier to identify. Remove your tail lights, you just take off those two 5/16 bolts, pull out, and if you look in right here, you'll see that we have our red wire ran over to the positive wire on the reverse socket. And this, every time we go into reverse, this will actually activate the white lights on the tailgate spoiler. So once you've done that, you can just go ahead and put it back together. Line it up, make sure everything's lining up correctly. Sometimes the harnesses like to push out. So as you can see, everything looks pretty good. It's lined up. It does hang over just a little bit. There's a cutout here, so it sits over your handle trim. And this was to clear for the pods. Now, for reverse, your center 6 will turn on white, and then you also have turn signals, all the same functions as your tail light. We had to plug in your tailgate cap spoiler. We have the 4 flat from earlier. All we have to do, lift up the trailer connector, line these up, and push in. Push all the way in. Now, typically you have a license plate here, and what you can do is, how I run it is I put the license plate over the wiring. This is the wiring coming out of the bottom of the tailgate. Your license plate will cover all of this, and this will stay plugged in here. So if you want your rear parking assist to work, what you'll have to do is you'll have to take this harness, and instead of plugging it in here, you'll have to wire it into your taillights. So you have, on how this is orientated, you have ground. The next pin over is your running light. The next pin over is your left signal, and the next pin over is your right signal. So these also activate your brakes over here. So you'll have to wire these directly into the tail light if you want your rear parking assist to work. So now let's check out the product now that it's all wired in and see how they look.